Good morning, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We are at 16283 Southeast McKinley Avenue here in Clackamas. We're located at just to the right of the front doorway. We've got a 4-inch cast iron cleanout. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water is currently running. We're going to zero the foot counter out at the base of the cleanout. And off we go. And I describe everything as if you're standing in the street facing the front of the house. Come on. There we go. Line's transitioning here over to 6-inch concrete pipe. We do have root penetration here at the transition joint. All right, here's the main lateral connection here at about 48 feet. We're gonna go locate that really quick here while the pipe drains off. We'll pull back, locate that root intrusion. We'll give everything a better look over once the line's drained. All right, located the camera head out in Southeast McKinley. We're gonna go ahead and reel back in. Not water moving through the pipe, that's all moving water there. None of that is standing water you're looking at. That's the remnants trickling off there from what the home inspector was just running, or the bathtub draining out. Now, by and large, the concrete pipe here is held up quite nicely. It's very clean. The roots as they sit at the moment are not affecting functionality, but that can change. There's a bunch of sapling trees out here. I think there's 3 of them, which they're putting off new root systems. This is very easily just the beginning of what this root intrusion will look like. So rather than roll the dice and play that game, I'd much prefer to see a repair done so that this is not a constant thing you're having to keep up with, cutting the roots and dealing with it that way. And that root ball there is encroaching in about 30% of the diameter of the line has been lost now. So if repairs are not done for some reason, I would certainly recommend clearing the roots out by cutting them and then rescoping. One, that's to check the work, and then you want to do a rescope a year later. That's to monitor the aggressiveness of how quickly they return. And you can kind of pick and choose how you do your root cutting schedule. But first and foremost, I'd recommend repairing them, make it a more permanent fix. All right, we are currently located in the front yard. I've marked this with a green X. My depths here are between 4'10" and about 5 feet deep. I would recommend a spot repair to fix that. And I recommend a rescope afterwards to check the work. It's a very important thing to do, especially when you're, I mean, it's important no matter what type of repair process you look into, but when lines are getting dug up, especially when you're doing a spot repair on a line that's been in the ground for a long time, it's a very easy opportunity to settle the line if you don't compact that soil properly and end up with a belly or offset joint, something of that nature. And you want to rescope if you do a trenchless style repair. If you go the trenchless route, I would heavily consider looking at the cost difference between lining that, you know, about a 4 or 5 foot swath there to help seal that joint up from roots versus taking the liner to the end, to the main lateral. A lot of times it's really not a lot of extra cost to do so, and you know, you might as well while you're already in there if the cost is very similar, especially if it's on point with what a dig style repair would be to fix just one pipe joint. As it sits though, beyond that root intrude area, the rest of the concrete pipe's held up quite nicely. It's not absolutely in need of repair. It's just it's a good opportunity while you're already in there if you're going the trenchless route. So aside from the root intruded joint there, the rest of the line here is in very nice condition for its age. Has good flow, is clean, and functioning properly at this time. And that spot there is all under dirt. There's no street or anything like that to deal with. The line ends up kind of veering in front of the front door and straightens out and shoots off to the road. And that's where you'll see that marking if you go straight out from the front door, near where the grass meets the kind of gravel area adjacent to the street. That's where you'll find that marking.